hosted by Sharon Thompson and Dr. Sharon Reid, bringing news, ideas, and community needs. We learn, we grow, we stay informed together in harmony. Our voices are heard. Speak harmony where knowledge meets community.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Speak Harmony podcast right here at APAT Media in Stone Mountain. We're live on YouTube, guys, each Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. We would like to thank our sponsor, APAT Media, a photo and production full-service media company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, video and live streaming services, and many, many more. Guys, if you want it done the right way, one-stop shop, right over here at APAT Media, you may contact them at 470-657-1998. That's 470-657-1998. Or you may email them at info@apatmedia.com. That's info@apatmedia.com. I'm Sharon Thompson, your host. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. So it says you, Sharon.
Hey, I am doing well. How are you?
Loving it. This weather is. But you know what? My plants are happy.
I was going to say the grass are happy, the plants are happy.
And
we needed the rain.
Heat. Yes,
absolutely.
It takes the heat down a notch. So I'm not going to complain. I'm
no
happy.
complaints.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
Yes.
What'd you do over this weekend?
This weekend. Oh my gosh. Ooh, Lord.
What did I do this weekend?
What did I do?
Oh.
You know what?
Sometimes it's like it's just the other day.
I
can't even remember.
I'll come back to it because I don't even remember what I did this weekend. I did.
I did end up going to Centennial Park.
Nice.
Right, and my husband and I watched the soccer game and just kind of walked around, and some of the footballers were doing live band drums, and that was really
footballers.
Yeah, those on the team. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Some of them were playing. I think this one was from Brazil. Really? They were playing drumming, and some of them came up and did their little musical thing, and then they had these big. They really set it up. I didn't even realize Centennial Park was that big.
Oh yeah.
It was humongous.
Oh yeah.
And they had little stages in each area, and then they had some vendors on the side there. So it was an interesting Sunday evening.
Yeah, I know a few people who went down and they took pictures and videos and they posted, and they were so intriguing. My disappointment with the FIFA, if I may say so, though, in spite of all the planning and everything, I'm just heartbroken that none of my, my African teams, my Caribbean teams
they didn't
advanced,
make it,
to this stage. So, we'll just have to catch them on the rebound in a few more years from now. So,
I think one of the issues are that they have so many teams, and sometimes if they pick the best of each teams and combine one national team, maybe that would support, but they're not getting the funds. And you notice who ends up being their coaches. So, we were rooting for them for the next time around. And I'm sure that they're going to be extra prepared. But I know they played their best. I watched a couple of Cape Verde's.
The Cape Verde team.
Oh my gosh.
And not only that,
they're very close.
There were a few others. The Congolese, team. They all did, Ghana. They played their hearts out. So what's going on?
National Day.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start off with the week, and it is this week, National Baby Food Week. And it runs from July 12th to the 18th. And it's designated for parents and caregivers to really focus on healthy nutrition.
Baby food.
And safe self-feeding and exploring whole new foods, So I remember when I had my children, I did not buy at that time, it was the Gerber. I don't know if that's still happening now, but I did all natural foods. I pureed, all the veggies and so forth, and introduced them. Yes. Yeah, and I think, some of these young parents, that a lot of times they introduce the sweet, like sweet potatoes, sweet peas and all the sweet food first.
Sweet.
And that creates a different addiction to sugar. So
It sure does.
but you do what you feel like is
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
I think that really concentrating more on early childhood development is the key. And so, introducing these foods slowly, keep it going on 3 to 5 days so you can watch out for allergic reactions. And, it's hard to say you need to buy organic because it's hard to even buy organic fruits and veggies anyway, right?
The price is right these days. I mean, I don't even know how anyone feeds their families these days.
So, I called my son on the way because I told him, I said, guess what? It's National Mac and Cheese Day. And so he used to say that he was the king of making mac and cheese. We prefer the baked. I know that some people like the creamy one, but the baked mac and cheese, and we use coconut milk, so it makes it very, pie-like.
Really?
Yes, we use coconut milk, and then we use, and he likes to season it. So, Jamaican people cut up the onion and the pepper.
I'm one of those.
And
I like
so he seasons it
and
well,
I like
garlic.
pepper. I like my pepper,
Yes. And then, we use a lot of nutritional yeast and vegan cheese. So.
Yep.
So I love that. But is there a particular you like in the box, the creamy, the casserole?
No. I like the authentic stuff. I like to make mine from scratch.
Yeah, and you bake
No
it.
box stuff, and I bake it.
Yeah. I don't like the creamy ones.
That's not for me.
Yeah.
I stay. Look, I'm like this. I like what I like. And
Yes.
I'm like, you like what you like, and I'm like, I'm good
So,
with that.
yeah.
I like macaroni and cheese baked.
Baked, yeah. So my son says, yeah, he's the best, but I will always say, well, who did you learn this from?
Hello. Well, maybe he learned it from you, and he probably tweaked it.
He
Who
tweaked
knows?
it for him because he seasons it a little bit more than I do. So I'll give him that. He can be reigned the king in our family.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, he taught his daughter.
Oh, wow.
And she's 22. And
Wow.
now she says she's the queen. She makes better
Hey.
mac and cheese than he does. So
Go right ahead.
that's my
Queen.
story for mac and
Yes,
chees.
Yes.
And,
So,
guess what? The other fun day is it's National Nude Day.
oh, Lord have mercy.
And it's held every July 14th. And this day focuses on self-acceptance. So it's not really about nudity. It really, Sharon, is about accepting your self-image, right? Do you like how you look in the mirror? It's about, the philosophy. In Jamaica, they have the nudist beaches.
Oh, yeah.
In Brazil, they really celebrate their bodies. Do you know any nudists?
I don't know any off the top of my head, but you know what? Honestly, self-acceptance is key.
It's all about the
Because
self-acceptance.
validation is everything, and I would stick with young ladies especially. I mean, only because it is what it is.
Yeah.
Guys are more accepting of themselves.
Yeah.
Regardless, because it's just how society is designed. But with females,
Yeah.
they tend to, and especially our young females, they tend to, and I just spoke about that a few days ago. We were talking and said that with the young females in particular, they do things to attract, to make the opposite sex, that guy, look at them and go, whoa.
Yeah.
So they'll do all the enhancements, quote
Enhancements,
unquote.
yeah.
And so to me, it's enhancements. You can do what you want, but validation starts at home.
Yeah.
So for those
at
young
home,
ladies
within,
who don't have
there's
father figures or whatever,
and there's a lot of body shaming, right?
it is.
You
And so
know,
that's where mom,
yeah.
people say, well, and that's when you teach your children, really. You teach the young ones to love self.
Yeah.
Love that man in the mirror. Love that person in the mirror, regardless.
Yeah.
And take care of yourself,
Yeah.
because this is your temple, so take care of it.
I mean, there's so many issues in our community. We get the skin. Now they have I know in Jamaica, and they talk about browning. So then you have the red skin, and then you have the black one, and it's just
But it's not even only in Jamaica, believe it or
yeah.
not, because bleaching is the thing.
in Africa. I hear it's big.
It is, but it's in the islands. It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You see someone walking around, and the image, the body image is
Yeah.
so critical, and that's why we have to pay compliments to.
Yes.
When we see a brother or a sister, what does it take to say, hey, did anyone tell you that you're a handsome young man? Or you're a beautiful young lady?
You have that smile.
Oh, my
I love
gosh.
your hair. I love
Yes.
your complexion.
Yes, yes.
All of those
You're
things. When
beautiful.
it's comes earnestly, people
does.
know it, and it makes us so much of a difference. I agree with you, Sharon.
Yes.
I don't have any qualms of saying to a sister, "You are so beautiful," or "You have this gorgeous smile."
Yes,
So I don't have any problems talking
I
about
mess
that.
with them sometimes where, believe it or not, today I did it.
What?
Walking into the Dollar Tree, I don't care about that. I have no shame where that is concerned.
Yeah.
I'm walking in the Dollar Tree today, and I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm finishing up a call, and all of a sudden, I saw this young lady walking up to me, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm telling the person on the phone, I said, oh my God. And she's wearing a Jamaica t-shirt too, so she's a gorgeous one.
Yeah.
She's beautiful, she's this, she's that. And turns out, oh my God,
What?
she's Jamaican. She's going to Jamaica next week.
Uh-oh.
And so we made a connection.
Yeah, yeah.
It was so authentic.
Yes.
It worked out so well.
Well,
So,
Well, you already know, Sister Connector. I saw you
girlfriend,
steer.
Hello. But it's
Yeah.
incumbent on us. though,
Yes.
Because when I looked at her and I said, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
I was able to say, as a nursing student, a former nursing student, during COVID, by the way, she decided to kind of fall back on nursing because she was scared. She was scared. And so, she pretty much didn't want to do nursing anymore because she says, people are dying and I don't know how to handle it. And
Yeah.
it was rough.
It is
So she
scary.
switched
It
to
is.
She switched to another major altogether.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, guess what? Talking to her today,
Yeah.
I can brag and say, she says she took my information, we exchanged numbers. And she said, Miss Sharon, can I give you a hug? And I said, sure. Don't know her from Adam. But she says, you just encouraged me. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and register to go back to
Look
finish
at
up my
that.
nursing
Thank
degree.
you so much. That is, let me
Okay?
also tell
Shouting
you.
out.
Yes.
Shouting you out, sister. You know who you are. I love it.
Let me tell you, my sister,
Dejana,
you are so beautiful.
you are as well. And we are going to jump into it because we've got a very amazing young man here, and we don't want to take any more of his time because you know
Yeah.
what? He came all the way here just to be with us.
Yes.
And he too has a gorgeous one. His queen.
Yes.
Oh my God. Shout out, Shelly-Ann. We're missing you today. But Mr. Dwayne D68 Anderson
All right.
is here with us. He hails from Guyana. People say Guyana. No. I screw that up only because I want to mess with him. When we say Guyana or Ghana, no, it's Guyana.
Oh, I have always said Guyana. I
No,
never
but
heard
girl-
Guyana.
Girl, he knows. He's gonna tell you in a minute because people don't know the difference. A lot of people don't know the difference with Ghana and Guyana. So they always go Ghana. I was like, no, Guyana or Guyana. So they interchange that. But
And then you have Guinea.
well,
That's right?
Yeah,
Guinea.
but
So that's another one.
Guyana and Ghana get
Yeah.
interchanged a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So this gentleman, this amazing person, oh my God, he's a visionary multimedia artist whose diverse creation seamlessly blends elements of wood, electrical components, epoxy, and various other mediums. Born in Guyana, South America, get that right.
Yes.
Dwayne's artistic journey is deeply rooted in the rich cultural tapestry of his upbringing. He served in the Air Force, so he's done a whole lot of
Just some disciplines.
his discipline background finds an unexpected and awesome inspiring outlet in his artistic endeavors. He has his military precision meets creative expression in a symphony of materials as he transforms raw materials into captivating works of art. Dwayne's unique perspective is a testament to the harmonious coexistence of structure and fluidity in his pieces. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who already know, those who know what they say, if you know, you know.
No, that's right.
But if you don't,
Now
please,
you will.
You will. We're welcoming you to the studio.
Yay.
Drum roll. Welcome, welcome,
thank you.
brethren.
How you doing, ladies? Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. Absolutely.
Oh, I got one question. I don't know who wrote that intro, but every time I walk into a room, I need you to introduce me, Sharon.
Ooh, the check is in the mail, right?
I'm telling you.
The check is in the mail. So, what's going on? What's on the agenda? What's going on?
Yeah.
Talk to us.
What's on the agenda?
Yes.
So, as Sharon says, I hail from Guyana. So, a lot of my work and creations that I do typically stem from something in the Caribbean, primarily Afro-Caribbean, because it speaks to me, right?
Yes.
You know, I'm a black man from the Caribbean, and I love being part of us. I think for me, what that speaks to is just a tapestry of beautiful soulfulness, you know, spirituality. You know, I think all what art does for me is it transcends between reality and the duality that is our ancestors, right? The things that they send to us that we don't even realize sometimes it's them that's sending it. So for me, that's what the art does. It is an outlet for my creative expression. You know, I've had many jobs, as anybody who knows me will tell you. So, you know, I've always thought of work as just a means to an end, right?
Yes.
You know, it's a way for us to really be able to be free to create or to travel or to just live life on our own terms.
Yes.
And so for me, whenever I look at what inspires me, it's always about, you know, what that looks like and what that feels like on whatever medium it is, right? So the work that I do always stems from some kind of a innate seeking to understand, right? I think there's a period that there's a piece that I actually brought with me. I think we'll look at it after the break.
Sure.
That speaks to a slave rebellion in Guyana. Right?
Wow.
So the piece is called The General.
The General.
Cuffy.
Oh,
So,
all right.
So if you're not, you know, in the know, or as we say, you ain't pick up and read about GT history a little bit, you know, then you may not know, but Cuffy or Kofi, as was his true Akan, Akan from Ghana. He was a Como Martin man, right? So stems from the Akan tribes in Ghana, and they were very fierce warriors, but they're also very knowledgeable as it pertains to strategy, right?
Yeah.
And so when I, learned about the history that is Cuffy and the slave rebellion, the Berbice slave rebellion that happened in 63, that slave rebellion was thwarted by the then Dutch who colonized Guyana. But what it led to was other uprisings.
Yes.
The uprising actually lasted a year. Yeah, before the Dutch. I mean, the Dutch were smart enough to be able to say, let's hold them off until we can get back up. So they sent for the...
And get help.
And it lasted a year, so they were able to hold off for a year. But the slave rebellion, I think, it taught other, enslaved that they didn't have to stay enslaved.
That's right.
They could rebel.
Rise
and
up.
so Cuffy is looked at as a Guyanese national hero. I know you guys have quite a few in Jamaica as well, and a lot of the transitions between Jamaica and Guyana, and I think this is why Jamaican women love Guyanese men so much, is the fact that
Oops, Shelly, it's telling on you.
hey, I'm just saying I have a beautiful Jamaican wife.
Yes, you do.
But I look at the two islands and I see the nuances, but I also see the similarities. Most similarities than not.
Yes.
And I say to everybody, there's the history. If you look, you'll find that a lot of Guyanese and Jamaicans come from the Akan.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Part of our history.
Come
For
from
sure.
Ghana.
So there's that deep-rooted connection. You're right, because shout out to our brother Ronald O'Sullivan. He's on his way, to Yard.
Nice,
Kingston.
nice.
So yeah, he's also a Guyanese artist, a man who's married to a Jamaican queen.
go.
So yeah, and they've been married 50 plus years, half a century going.
Jamaican women strike again.
Hey. So what was the defining moment though, brother,
Yeah.
when you decided this is your thing? You realize that you're an artist, because an artist can be defined in many ways. You know, I mean, I tell people they're creatives. Well, when we say creatives, we probably mean people who draw and create stuff with their hands, but not really, because there are people who create lyrics and they spit lyrics and they spit, poetry and all that kind of other stuff. So you guys are just a unique bunch. But what stage were you when you realized that? Where were you?
Woo! I would say it stems from small, if I'm honest, right? I think one thing that I've always looked at is things in a different way. I'm not all right, somebody said that that's green, and okay, well, what makes it green? Who said that it's green? Why can't it be black? Why can't it be brown? Someone gave these things names, and and as I always I looked for the differences in things, and so I think my art speaks to that as well. I have a lot of great friends that are painters, sculptors, and as you said, art takes on different forms, different mediums. You can channel your art through, but I think for me, wood spoke to me, and I still don't know why. I have some ideas. I think from where I grew up in Guyana as a kid, living in Florida. We lived in New York for a period, but the New York period was not the piece that I think that shaped or informed the wood piece. I think it was back home in Guyana, and then also Florida, because had a lot of stuff around, pick up this and throw it, and wood, and you'd be able to pick up something and you just start whittling, right? I remember I used to see my dad, and one of the things that was really cool was, I know back in the day you guys had the pencil. You didn't have no sharpener, right?
Right.
So you used to get the knife and whittle, right?
Wow.
Yes.
So I can remember vividly as a kid seeing that and being like, oh man, that's cool. Look at the way the wood, navigates
changes,
and different
the grooves
around the lead pencil, and sometimes you get down to the lead and you shave off the lead.
I used to love doing that myself. Yeah.
Really?
I love doing it.
I was scared of getting cooked.
You gotta just get in there. And then when you get down to the lead, you gotta take the back of the knife and you just gotta move it
slow.
Just shave off piece. Make that point, man. You gotta make the point.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So I would have sharpened.
So Dwayne, where does the D68 come in?
So D68 is basic. It's really basic. It's my name and the year I was born. So it's my first initial and the year I was born.
All right.
And when I say it's basic, it is, but it isn't, right? And I can remember there was a restaurant that actually influenced that name. And I'll come back to your question in a little bit about how the art actually shaped and morphed into what it is now. But there's a place in Roswell that's called Monkey 68. And monkey is the 68. So the year I was born is the monkey. And I always thought to myself, I was like, wow, that spoke to me as well, because I'm curious as a monkey. Yeah. I'm all over the place.
Did you go there and check it out? Did you?
I went to Monkey 68. Yeah. So it was cool. So, the Chinese calendar is where it stems from. But, when you think about what a monkey is, and then you think, I was born in 68. I'm like, wait a minute. So then, and that's how I came up with D68.
Yeah. And they were all hanging on the trees.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of this was ancestral for you, because that's where you see a lot of it stems from.
Yes. And, and it's actually, the full thing is D-signed 68. So it's
designed.
That's creative. So it's designed, but it's de-signed. Like when I sign, I sign D60.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
So
that.
That's kind of where that comes from. A little play on words.
I like that.
That's the artistic, creative part in you, showing up.
I think so. Showing up and trying to show out a little bit. But
go back to Sharon's question.
Yeah, back to your question, Sharon. For me, when COVID hit, I was working at Royal Caribbean at the time, and shout out to my Royal Caribbean shipboard peeps.
Big ups,
So working at Royal Caribbean, and I would go out to ports all the time to do dry docks. I run the IT operations on board the ship, putting in stuff like RFID, changing the door locks from mag stripe to RFID. So that was, I'm a kind of a geek by nature.
Oh, yeah.
But in the times that I came home, right, because the world shut down.
Yes.
And shipboard life went away because, people couldn't cruise.
Right.
So when that happened, I had a lot of time on my hands at home.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I got to find something to do because and so, my wife said, well, we got, something here you could make this out of, it was a piece that a friend of hers, her grandmother gave, or Shelley bought because she really liked her friend's grandmother, and she bought it and she brought it to America. And it was like, those break front things where you got a glass in the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, y'all call them, we call them break front. Right?
Break front.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we do too.
So there's a break front where you keep all your china and your fine knives that you never use and them things. Anyhow, the break front, she was like, okay, I don't really have a need for a break front. So I was like, all right, what are we going to do with it? And so we both put our heads together and we came up with a kind of like a wine cabinet. And so,
Totally.
yeah. So we totally flipped it, changed the knobs, put in some wine glass racks, put in some bottle racks so you can put wine in as well.
Yes.
It actually is in the house. So next time you
Yes,
come to the house,
yes,
you'll have to
got
check
to see
it.
it, yeah.
But yeah, so that's how it started. And then from there, it just morphed.
Of course.
I just started
Of course.
doing all kinds of randomness,
course.
and it just started morphing.
And
I just
Shelley's a
tried-
pusher,
tried
because she
nonstop.
knows how to do stuff. She's creative herself.
She is.
Very creative.
Very, actually. Most
Yes.
people won't know
Yes.
because Shelley kind of keeps to herself
She's
a
like
little
very
bit.
low key, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, you two together.
She's only low
what a
key with
force.
everybody else, not with me.
Oops.
Yeah.
Shelley, he's spilling the beans, girl.
No, in a good way. She'll make sure I stay.
Well, that's part of
straight
what
down.
we do as partners,
Yes.
Pull
Yes.
each other up when we're down, and
Definitely.
and
And she
push
does.
each other.
She does exactly
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
So-
Sharon, I'm gonna tell you this.
What's that?
Maybe I
Uh-oh.
can I shout it out? So there's a space, and you have to tell us exactly how you created that space that you have outdoors up there in your backyard.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. I wish there was a picture for that. I don't know if I could find a picture because I kind of did a screenshot. Happy anniversary to you both.
Thank you.
anniversary.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
How many
I'm gonna see
years?
if I can see.
3 years.
3 years. Congratulations.
But we've both been married before, so we're not new to this.
right.
But we are trying to do different, And I think when you have a partner that tries, it's always a good thing, And
Yeah, you
Shelley,
learn from the past, and you
you
know
learn
how to keep moving it forward.
'Cause
Absolutely.
I know I've made mistakes. I can't
Yeah.
say anything about my wife. I think
when it's couples,
I've made
both there are
mistakes on
two
my side.
parties. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
I'm gonna find this because I'm telling you guys, you have to.
Oh, I
see
can't
this.
wait to see it because I actually have this love
She's
for
gonna
wood
look
art.
for this backyard. While she
she's
looks for
gonna
the backyard,
Yes.
I'm going to tell you. So you asked a question about how it became.
From a hobby to purpose.
Yeah. I always tell people if I can see it here, and when I say here, we're talking about
Your
my
third eye.
The third
right?
eye. Wow.
If I can see it here, I can see it here. Like I can literally, if I think about a piece and I think about what it's going to look when I'm done, that's pretty much what it's going to look like when it's done.
Yeah.
Because I know what I want. And
Yeah.
I know what I want to create, and I think because. And you said it's, I don't know about visionary, and I don't call myself an artist. Me and my friends, I have a lot of artist friends around me. It's a tough word, right? It's a challenging word, and because it says that you're defined by whatever someone thinks art is.
Wow.
Number one, and number two, it's kind of like giving somebody the title CEO or director, and because there's so much that comes with that title. I believe that people think that you're perfect, or you're some Van Gogh, or you're some Monet, or or Renoir, or what, and that's not true. You like, I see art. There's some. So I'm gonna say this, and my boy Levi, if he's listening, he's gonna kick me afterwards, but. Like Basquiat, if you look at Basquiat's work, it is so unfinished. It is so almost, if you will, childlike, cartoon-like. You know, you write on your notebook in class when you were a kid. That's what Basquiat worked. But it speaks to people because of all of the other elements that are behind the shapes, right?
Interpretation.
It's interpretation. So when people say artist, that is an interpretation of, you know, what they define you to be. You're like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't operate in a box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you give yourself a title?
Creator.
Creator.
I'm a creative. Because it's more of a vibe and a feeling when you do that, right? That you don't feel beholden to. So, because people say, you know, artists draw. Most artists draw, right? That's what people think, and that's not true. So when you say artist, when you say creator, then it's the realm.
It is.
Right?
I think that's something like what Prince, the artist, was going towards too, because he didn't want to be put in a box with just as a singer or a guitar player. So he called himself an artist. And it's true, when people think of art, they think of paint or drawing. But art is creation, period.
It is.
So, you know, when we express ourselves through art, and there are different parts of us that come out when we're doing. So what part of you do you think you are when you're creating, particularly through your
real
woodwork?
questions now.
Real questions, deep questions, diving deep. We're diving deep there.
For me, oh man, there's so much. So the wood speaks to me, and the wood is sensual for me, right? Because you can touch it and create it and move it how you want. You can put it on a lathe and turn it into, you know, make it round. You can, you know, you can give her all kinds of shapes. Right. And so I think some of that is sensuality. When I'm creating a piece, or when I'm thinking about what the piece at the end of the day will look like, for me, it needs shape. It needs to have a little deference, something that you saw, I don't know, in Ashley furniture or on a wall someplace in somebody's, you know, gallery. It needs to speak. It needs to be different, and so that's why, you know, I've mixed a couple of things. I mean, you called it out in the beginning, some epoxy and, you know, resin, and, you know, I do a lot of welding now. I learned to weld. I spent time with a Rasta in Trinidad, actually in Tobago, and I was there with him for probably about, you know, 2 weeks learning how to carve, just outside. Listen, that was one of the most life-changing experiences.
Of course.
You know, and I always told, I think my wife, poor thing, when she hears me say I'm going to do that, she gets afraid. Because she knows if I say that, I'm
You're
most
diving
likely
deep. Nose dive.
And I, you know, when we were looking at venues to get married, we got married in Tobago.
Yes.
When we were looking at venues to get married in Tobago, on one of our trips, we met this guy. He's up, you know, just selling his carvings on the side of the road, and I was like, just something in his spirit, you know, it took
Connected.
me. Yeah, and so I said, man, one day I want to learn how to carve, and I'm gonna come back here and see if his name is Jabi. Big up Jabi. Jabi in Tobago. And I spent time, and we just outside. He has like this little, we would say shack, but it's his storefront.
Of course.
It's a little wood
His
thing
kingdom.
he built himself, right? And it's there on the side of the road, and we spent time in there. We went around the side of it, and little makeshift tables doing our thing. You can see the whole of Tobago. It's because it's up in the hills. It was,
yes,
it was
that's
amazing.
inspirational.
Yes.
Right.
Outdoor classroom, that's what it is.
Yes. Yes.
It was real
Wow.
nice. Yeah.
But his backyard.
Oh, the backyard.
Oh my God! I'm back to the backyard. I can't find it on my phone. I was hoping I could find it, but let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
Tell us about what material, and I mean, how do materials speak to you? Because what material, first of all, is it that you have in the backyard? And tell the folks what it is that I'm so intrigued with your backyard. Why I'm so intrigued with your backyard? What's going
Because the
on
backyard is earthy. I think that's why you're intrigued with the backyard. It's a meteor shower of just the soulfulness that is the earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You have trees. First, we live in a forest. You have, you know, flowers. You have, you know, the pool is up there with the water, and then, you know, we have the wood, right?
Yeah.
That you see. Then you see that big old oak tree that's
Yes.
like right behind
Yes.
where that pergola that you like is. So
What material is
Sharon's
that pergola?
that pergola is actually pine. It is good
Oh, it is?
old southern
Really?
pine. Yeah.
I tell you, Sharon, I wish you could see that the picture of this thing. This thing is amazing.
Yeah.
And he's got a whole lot. I mean,
And you built
we
it by
created-
yourself?
Yeah, I
Of
built
course
it by,
he did.
well, big up my cousin Nigel. Nigel
Okay,
did come
all
out
right.
some days and,
Yes.
and give me a hand. And
Yeah.
my cousin Ryan and my friend Jerry, they came
Yeah.
over. So the roof was madness. And my wife hates this story, but the roof was so big, we had to do it below, because I have these stairs that go all the way up to the
Right.
pergola.
Yeah.
right.
So we had to do the roof on the bottom level and then move it up because there was no room up there to
Of
work
course,
with
the
the pool
work.
and everything.
Yeah, with the pool there.
So built it down below, and I was like, okay, how am I gonna get it up there now? So I called my boys, who could come, and it was me, Shelly Ann, my cousin Ryan, and my friend Jerry Bahari. Jerry, we lifted that thing up, took it up there,
Wow.
and we didn't put it on top of the pergola. I was like, okay, we're gonna just leave it here for now. This is enough for today. We'll come back and we'll do it. And the reason my wife hates this story is one day I don't know what happened to me. I just got tired. I didn't want to wait for anybody else to come and do it. So I know I'm pretty strong. I did.
You did it yourself? Did you hurt yourself?
No, I didn't hurt myself.
Okay, good.
Because
He's
once you
Superman.
swing it around, I'm
Yeah.
not Superman. This is all gravity and we just kind of pushed it up and just let it fall. And me kind of picked it up and pushed it. Just let it fall into place slowly, and then we just shifted it around. It was
Interesting. And then he's got that shower
Yeah.
right next to. I mean,
So Dwayne, when we come back, we're going to take a short break.
Sure.
Come back, we'd love to talk to you about how technology and your creativity, how your Air Force training and all of that played into it.
Sounds
Is that good?
Yeah, man.
All right,
Looking
then.
forward to it.
And then we also have a little game that we'd like to talk to you about first. So we're getting ready to take that break. And when we come back, Sharon, the Sister Connector, will tell us about the events that are coming up.
yes.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, APAP Media Group. APAP Media Group is a full-service creative video and photo production company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, and live streaming. Contact them by email at info@apapmedia.com. That's info@apapmedia.com. Thank you to our sponsor, APAP Media Group.
Welcome back to the second segment of the Speak Harmony podcast. So, this would not be Atlanta if we didn't have stuff going on every single weekend.
Yep.
We've got tons and tons and tons of stuff going on. And this coming weekend, July 16th, at the Old Rabbit Gallery at 127 Peter Street in Southwest Atlanta, we've got October High. From Afrique with Love, Art, Conversation, and Connection. Listen, there's an artist talk and guided tour at 7 to 8 p.m., so you've got an RSVP for that. There's connections at the gallery from 8 to 10, complimentary wine and beer, all evening, by the way. And so you've got to get your tickets. Reach out to October High and Artemus Jenkins from Afrique, the art, conversation, and connection, an evening of art, storytelling, and meaningful connections. This coming July 16th from 6 to 10 p.m., Old Rabbit Gallery. So you can look it up at 127 Peters Street, Southwest Atlanta. And next we've got The Heart Lady in connection with the JAICC. They have an event. It's a back to school giveaway, and it's going to be held on July 25th from 10 to 3 p.m., 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's a day of health, wellness, and family fun. So that's a health expo and back to school giveaway. That's Saturday, July 25th. And that's going to be held at the Covington Drive Church of God of Prophecy. Okay, that address is Covington Drive, 3333 Covington Drive, Decatur. That's 3333 Covington Drive, Decatur. And you can check that out. And of course, we've got to big up our Atlanta Jamaican Association. Our scholarship independence and awards will take place on August 8th, Saturday, August 8th, and that will be from 6 p.m. until 2 a.m. It's going to be held at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort at 4021 Lakeview Drive, Stone Mountain. That's Atlanta Evergreen Lake Resort. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this because this is going to be big. It's going to be huge. The view alone is captivating. But we've got a keynote speaker by way of Sonia Richards-Ross, a 4-time Olympian. You don't want to miss out. She does everything. She's an Atlanta housewife. She's into this and she's into that. She does a little bit of everything. And last but not least, JESSA, the Atlanta chapter, that's the Jamaican Ex-Soldiers Association here in Atlanta. On August 29th, you want to save these dates, ladies and gentlemen, because they're going to be having their usual annual camouflage barbecue. And you know what that means, right? You come in your camouflage, right? This is going to be held at 1943 South Harrison Road in Stone Mountain. That's 1943 South Harrison Road, Stone Mountain. JESSA, big ups to you. There's going to be good friends, good food, good times, great mix. So come start getting your camouflage outfits. Because I'm sure they're going to have, competitions. Who has the best? They're going to have fish, all kinds of meats, fish, chicken, pork, the whole 9 yards. That's JESSA, Jamaican Ex-Soldiers Association. Look them up. Come out and support them. Thank you so much. And now, getting back to the meat of the matter.
Yeah, let's have some fun here. Since you
Yes.
are a creative,
Yes.
how about, is it wood? Just say one or the other. Wood or epoxy?
Wood.
One or the other. That's your choice. What's your take? If you had a choice, would it be
He said wood.
or epoxy?
He said wood.
Wood.
Mhm.
Of course it would be wood.
Yeah.
Of course.
Guyana or anywhere else?
It's tough because I love Guyana, food, culture, but there's a couple other places that I like on the more.
That would be second. What
Yeah.
would be a second that comes to mind real quick?
Woo! Ghana is beautiful. I really enjoyed going to Ghana. Spiritual, different plane of energy. So Ghana, for sure. And then probably Southern Europe, like Portugal, Madeira, kind of going into that Andalusia, Spain region. So, yeah. that
So
area.
while you're creating, you're doing your thing, do you like music? Silence.
Music.
Really? And what kind of music?
My favorite genre,
Jamming.
soca.
Soca. Okay now.
Yeah,
I thought you'd be jamming, but okay.
I mean, reggae is a close third.
Really? I get it, but let me ask you.
All right.
So, sneakers or dress shoes?
Sneakers
Really?
Really?
all day. Every
I can.
day.
You know what? Yeah, I can see that because
Yeah.
you're. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're so stylish. You're so fly. I mean, this dude is super
did you
fly.
do your back of your jacket?
No, this was actually done for me by another artist. From
Oh, okay, because I know there's
Really?
the creativity on it. I
Really?
was, if it was
that's
yours, I was gonna
Yeah.
tell everybody to turn around for us and let them see
Why
it.
not?
But
So
You're
why-
right. Why not?
I told her, just create a deconstructed Guyana flag.
oh, I see it.
Oh, I
Yes,
love it.
yes, yes,
Love it,
yes.
love it.
Okay.
Yes.
Just vibe with it,
Yeah,
just make it what it's
you
gonna be.
vibing, vibing,
that
vibing.
was her creation.
What's the favorite piece you've created?
Favorite piece I've created? That's a tough one, and it's tough because I like all the pieces for different reasons. But my favorite was probably Cuffy. So General Cuffy is there. So
So since
and
you
so
said
we-
that,
yeah.
Yes, we've got.
is there a way that we can switch and see? This
Yeah,
is
we're gonna
just
switch,
so creative.
And if
oh
you
my
travel
word,
through Hartsfield, if you've ever traveled through Hartsfield,
I could see that hanging
there's
there.
no way you could have missed that.
Yes. Yep.
It was in the airport for a bit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I recognized it. Look at that. So what I'm seeing is little cuts of wood that you put together to create this
explain it.
image. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So again, wanted to not just do whatever on a piece of wood, right? I wanted it to have texture. I wanted it to have dimension, and because that's what the man had, right? So it kind of ties in with who Cuffy was, right? And so, hey, see where the placement of the biggest block is, right in the nose. Right? So yeah, love with big nose, and and the lips have a little texture.
Texture,
to it,
yeah.
Right? And then his vibe, whole demeanor is, listen, I'm confident, but I'm also concerned for my people.
Yeah.
Right? You see that pensiveness in his
the eyes.
And so that's what I wanted to create with this piece. And then I gave him an African head wrap because I also wanted to draw in the fact that he wasn't a Khan.
Yes.
And he was not just a Khan, he was royalty as well.
Yes.
So I wanted that to speak as well. And I put him in, what I would have considered to be royal, a Khan
Yeah.
wear
Attire,
from back in the day to match his hat. Yeah.
So
But you said he is, because
He is.
this
It's true.
historian, this ancestor still lives on.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Because when I'm looking at it, and I
Yeah.
kid you not, I'm seeing Cuffy just looking back at us and going, I got you.
yeah.
That's it.
I got you.
That's it.
Ashe.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
the
We
legacy
got you.
continues through
Yes,
you
yes.
and many other art. I'm curious though, how did you create the image? Did you draw it? How did you create the
Yeah.
pieces?
Yeah, the piece is lasered, right?
Oh, you use laser.
Yeah, I use a laser.
Okay.
And so the laser creates this one on the wood. It doesn't look like it, but it's actually grayscale. And the laser doesn't burn color. Obviously, it just burns. But what you do is, if you do grayscale, you can get the different shades.
It's
right?
gorgeous.
And the shades will,
Yeah.
element the piece. And then this one, because of the way that the wood was cut, these are just 4x4 blocks of wood, right? And then the type of wood it is, it's again southern pine.
Really?
Use what's available, right?
Yeah.
So took that, and those dots that you see, those are natural to
That's
the
what
wood.
you
Like,
can
I
see
didn't have to
that's
put
part
that
of the
in.
natural
So it gave-
grade of a tree.
It gave a ethereal, starry
Yeah.
night kind of a vibe. If you look at it, it kind of creates
Yes.
a halo around
Yes,
the other
yes.
ones. Yeah.
For the trees. And so this other
one
piece is that you got the artist and you got the practical.
Yeah. Practical, but the practical, again, what you see, it's not just square, right? It's got some shape to it. It's got some curves down the bottom. Inside of her, we've got the basket. I got my USF umbrella in there, so big up Bulls all day. So my USF umbrella is there. And then on the top of it, you'll see that there's a carving. Again, big up to Jabi for teaching me. And so that carving is just one where I was just, there, sharpening the pencil. And so I carved this. This is the Akan symbol for, serenity. Yes.
And Bob just said,
I see it. I see it. Yeah, Brother
Yeah.
Bob smiling at you too. One of our ancestors says, yeah, man.
So yeah, just a little bit of a, change in color.
Yeah.
Change again in design. We've got the natural Scandinavian type design, but put it in a different shape and not so square. And then again, just topped it off with a little something from the ancestors.
This could be used as a coat rack.
What one material you've never used, but you've never used it?
Never?
I'm saying there's one material that you probably never used, but you want to work with.
Ooh, that I've never used a material. I don't know. It's a good question. What else would I work with? I mean, water, yeah. I think because water is so fluid, like it doesn't stay put, right?
Yes.
So you got to figure a way to contain it, right? And that's, so I would love to create a piece that shows, the continuity of water in a enclosure where it keeps moving. It doesn't stay, and it keeps moving not because like it's powered by anything, just naturally, just the way, and maybe it's vibrational. I don't know. So it's something I've thought about. How do you make something move when it doesn't need to? Or maybe it goes to one side and then it flips over because it gets heavy, kind of like, when you have the sand through an hourglass. Something like that. Yeah.
So what's harder, starting, a piece or finishing it?
Finishing it. There's a lot of unfinished stuff in the studio.
I'm sure that Shelley is like,
Shelley's looking at his side. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Shelley, don't worry. You go finish it up.
we put him on blast just now.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think what happens as you're working on a piece, the energy tries to flow different. Sometimes you start out, you're like real into it, and you just, but then you hit like either a creative road bump, or you just decide, look, you know what? Hey, this not the vibe today. And
so you are going to go with your vibe and how you feel.
So I go with
really
the vibe.
makes you move. Yeah,
that's even with the music that I listen to when I am creating. I listen to all kinds of stuff: jazz, soca, reggae. Yeah, So some R&B, sometimes I like to throw it back to the 90s, but even the 70s for me.
Yeah. Love the 70s. That's my era.
Yeah.
So we could go a little deeper then with that. If you didn't have to worry about money, what is it that you think you would create?
If I didn't have to worry about money, I could buy every machine on the planet. I could create whatever I wanted to create. I could have a bevy of artists that work with me in, and I've seen this, right? When I went to Ghana, I saw there's this outdoor museum. It's called Kim Kim. It's like NKIM. So Kim Kim Museum is as you head east out of Ghana, like headed towards Nigeria. And I think it's Togo. You come before, right? And so as you get into Togo, you come upon this open air museum, and there,
open air.
Yeah, and there you had a commune of artists. You had sculptors. You had, people who paint. You had people who do woodworking, carvings. Everybody was there, and so I remember we went with another couple and the husband. He's also an artist, right? Big up Gavin. But I say these just to say that that's probably what I would do, man. I would just, because money's not an issue, right? Give people a place to stay, a place to commune and just vibe and just do what it is that they love, and have visiting artists come by, from all over the world, and just, share the culture that is,
Of course.
West Africa with the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence.
That's what I would do.
Art is?
Amazing.
It is amazing and mystical.
Yes.
Yeah. You were talking about technology, really, and art. And tell us a little bit how your IT career has influenced that artistic process.
Coffee right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you done others like this? Is it because
I have
laser?
done others like this. I did one for my dad before he passed. I did one for my wife. I've done one for myself just to have. It's like I hardly let anybody see some of the stuff that's down there, just because it's more for me to remember when, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you create something and you're like, the hell was I thinking? What was going through my mind? Yeah, and so you create it, and then you're just like, okay, I like it, but I don't want nobody else to see it.
Oh, so it's for your eyes only.
Yeah, so there's some work down there like that. But for me, really, it's the technology I feel like allows you, and again, some people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's okay. AI, right?
Okay.
For me, a lot of artists that are pure artists, right, that actually draw and color and, brush strokes, and, I got a lot of friends who are into, actually painting and such, right? But I think because I'm not a pure artist like that, AI allows me to use this, right? Because with AI, there's also an art to AI, and those people don't realize there's an art to the prompt. Whatever garbage in, garbage out.
Correct.
So if you're not sharing with AI on a different level what it is that you want it to give you back, it's going to give you
The basics.
base,
Yes.
right? So I'm very, I'm very pointed with my prompts because of that, and so I think that speaks to part of how the creativity flows, in AI. Because maybe I can't draw it,
But you have vision.
I have the yes, and so I think once you find that, okay, well, you can create in AI, and then because I've used Photoshop a lot, I'm a bit of a digital artist as well, but because or digital creator, but because I understand how to manipulate between both worlds, right? I can go back into another technology and do the work. So I grew up playing video games as a kid. That's kind of where I guess my passion for IT, you could say, started is in video games. And a lot of kids who that's kind of their avenue as well, right?
Yeah.
Because technology, and because with doing it, you got to learn about the cartridges that you're putting into the game. You got to understand, okay, the joystick, and how it's connected to the back of the port. Because if something happens, and my dad was the electronics technician, so he taught me a lot about, little diodes and resistors and capacitors and all that stuff. So, I understand a little bit about
mechanics of how it works.
electrical stuff, right? So if it breaks down, I can fix it, right? So people don't realize, okay, yes, that was technology.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you got to understand. So always work with my hands in that sense. But I think for me, it makes the work, it gives me a base to be able to create what's here in my mind's eye, get it down on the AI, and then tweak it however I want to tweak it, because AI sometimes doesn't give you exact, and you got to figure out how to.
Well, it's a good thing so that you could use your own creativity. If you gave you exact, then it doesn't really feel more like you.
Because Cuffy wouldn't be Cuffy if that was the case.
Yeah.
I had to go in and change a few things on Cuffy.
Yeah.
I had to move, parts of his lips and stuff like that to make the actual shape that I wanted. But again, technology. So Cuffy is an example of that.
Yeah. So collaboration, because I keep hearing, that's what's echoing in my mind every time I hear you, because you're not a solo creator, solo projects. You're all about collaborating. So, Cuffy, how did Cuffy end up in the busiest airport in this world?
I think that's every creator's dream to be
how
a place
did that,
like that.
Yeah, how did that happen?
It's funny. So Tamara Gammon,
Of course.
Tammy,
Yes.
as we so lovely and
Yes.
put it, because she's such a sweet soul.
Yes.
Tammy had an opportunity, and this is the beginning of how it actually got into, because there's this story and then there's the airport story, right?
Right.
So how we got to the first part of it is that Tammy said, Dwayne, I'm going to be showing in the airport this was during, it's like 2 years ago, I believe, at this point.
Caribbean Heritage Month.
Caribbean Heritage Month. Yeah, so we're going to be showing in the airport. Would you like to come and be part of the team that's going to be showing? I said, sure. But I wanted to create something special. I just didn't want to show any and everything in the airport. I wanted to be the first time someone saw Cuffy. And so Cuffy was created for the airport. And I remember the same day I rolled up to the airport, my friend Levi, who's an artist, he was passing through Atlanta Airport with his fiance. And I told him, I was like, I'm in such and such. And he came and he saw it. And Levi's, he not too big on the whole like AI thing, so he didn't really know. He knows now probably, but this is a AI creation, right, at the base. But like I said, I had to go and change up a few things. But I have to say it was just so weird, because Levi's coming through and he lives in DC. And, and Tammy had asked me to come to this thing. And Levi is a phenomenal artist. If you guys don't know, look up Levi Robinson. Ridiculous. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know who Ernie Barnes is, But
No.
Levi's earlier works reminds me a lot of Ernie Barnes. He's switched up a little bit, and he ain't gonna know that I love his earlier stuff more. But you know, it is what it is. He's my boy. I have several, you know, Levi Robinsons at the house. But I felt like Tammy gave me an in, right? And people saw the piece, and you know, a couple people from the Atlanta airport that were helping to put on that presentation came to me and asked me if I'd be willing to have it in there for a bit, and so I said yeah. So
Why not?
I let them borrow her. Yeah.
Her?
Wow. Yeah. Her. That's
right.
her. Yeah. Well, I caught it. I
I know.
that.
That's why I
Yeah.
had to repeat it.
Yeah, I caught it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely your.
You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard it right. Yeah, I know he's a him.
But Shelly.
Yeah.
No, but
It's a her.
I like that, yeah.
Mother
Sensuality
Earth
is, yeah,
treats
a woman,
her.
man.
That's right.
Yes.
The woman is a piece of art.
So I hear it when you say Tobago in the
Yeah.
hills. And I'm kind of like that too, believe it or not. People think city, but no. I like the city for what it's worth. But city or country, city life or countryside?
It's not even it's
Not even a question, huh?
country.
Country, give me the country.
All day.
Country all day.
So do you plan everything as you go, or do you create as you go?
Ooh. Because I am a project manager at heart, I would say I plan as I go. But the creativity piece is different, because it's not like I plan to put this face today and I'm going to put this line here, and you know, it's not that. It's while I'm doing it, I create.
Gotcha.
Right, because I've been doing some wood burning stuff by hand.
Right.
And what I've learned is that as I take my burner and as I push on the wood, the texture changes. And as the textures change, I can manipulate how the texture is going to move. So I can move the burner this way and it'll give me a little groove this way, and move it, right? So you learn as you go, and so you get to create some really cool elements within the piece
So while you're
happens.
creating,
So while I'm
You're
while
creating. You're creating.
Exactly what I said, I'm going to start this
Right, what
piece
you're
today.
creating. You're creating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
looking and you're going,
Yeah.
man, because I know
Yeah,
you amaze yourself
yeah.
sometimes. You're like,
all the time. I'm like, at first, you know what's funny is when I first started, I was just like, okay, I'm just getting lucky. You know, I'm just this is like, who did that?
Yeah. The material that speaks to you.
Yeah. So, and as you do that more and more, and then people start to see stuff, and then artists come to your house and they buy stuff, and you're like,
Honored. Yes.
an artist who you respect.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes,
so
yes. And that leads me to the next question. Dwayne, you're doing what you're doing now, but Shelly comes home and she says, "Hun, I need a shadow box. I need whatever it is." Okay. You're not commissioned. You're not working on this.
Right.
You're like, you know what? I need that shadow box.
yeah.
Do you break? And I know I'm starting World War VI, but
No.
do you leave
You're good.
this piece, her over here,
Uh-huh.
create that shadow box and go back? I mean, what happens when you leave?
No, the shadow box getting planned for too, man. Everything I
You
get
put it in
planned
a
out.
plan.
Wow.
So,
I can't leave her and just switch the shadow box. Listen, that's a destruction of the creative
the process.
So, but
The
let me ask you, when you
process,
leave, but if have you ever done this though, where you start a piece, you're working on this, and you shift, you pivot?
all the time.
Okay, because that's where the unfinished,
And I can't-
not unfinished,
I can't
but
say it
the
too
other
much.
special, I know, but special
Somebody
stuff.
from where I work might be listening when I
Okay.
say this, but yeah, there's some times that I'm down and I'm working. You know, I got my laptop next to me and taking calls and stuff, but I'm creating as well. And so when that happens, you have to switch back and forth,
Yeah.
right? For example,
course.
and for me, it sucks. Like I hate it.
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather create.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, I don't want to take this
Yeah.
150th
And do all this other
Wow.
business
call,
part of
but
it.
but in order to do the other,
Yeah.
because
one hand got to wash the other. I get
Well,
it.
that and I like to do some things now. Like I like to travel, and,
Of course.
you know, I
Person
like to
lives the
buy,
life.
you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go some places with friends and family. But
Let me ask the last.
can't be the starving artist yet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask my last question before we get ready to go.
Yeah.
So not 5 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
and not 50 years from now, but how about 500 years from now?
Mm.
What would you want the future generation to learn from your art,
To just
from
be-
your designs?
to just be, you know,
Wow.
forget about definition of self. You don't have to define yourself. You're all of the things
Oh, wow.
and nothing. You understand? So don't take yourself too friggin' serious. Get in there,
I love it.
enjoy yourself, live life, have fun, find a good person to love, and that takes care of your heart and
Yes.
looks out for you when you can't look out for yourself.
Yes. I
Nice.
like that a
Yeah.
lot. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to see Mr. P or Damien. Can we toy with any of those pieces? Is it possible or not? I know it's pushing it because we're just about wrapped up here. But boy, some stuff. Oh, there we go. Tell us about that piece real quick. What's that?
Oh, wow, the table. Oh, man. So my wife said she wanted a table. And I said, all right, what do you want it to look like? She said, I've seen some stuff in Ashley, you know, but I would do mine a little bit more differently. And I said, well, tell me about it. What would you want? And she's like, nice chunky wood, you know, slats that go so, slats that go this way. And so I said, okay, I got you. And so that is how she described it is how I built it, you know, but I added a few touches, right? Like the differences in the wood, you know, and the color that was chosen is actually like a grayish blue. So
I love that.
water flowing into the space. And so, yeah, man, that's what that's all about. Yeah. Where'd you get that picture from? Yeah. So that was actually, that's Tammy's doing again. I just wanted to create something. And honestly, I was playing around with learning how to draw because, you know, and I hadn't picked up a paper and a pencil to draw in forever. And so, you know, again, that is just me trying to figure out how to draw, but she came out looking so cool,
Yes.
right? That I said, yeah, I'm gonna put her into some wood, color the wood, and put some epoxy around her, and you know, put her in. I guess because when I do epoxy, I always refer to things as suspended animation. So
Of course. Shout out to Tammy Gammon because
Yeah.
let me tell you, she started out here at Speak
Yeah.
Harmony with us, hanging with us. Amazing,
man.
amazing colors, coordinating, collaborating.
Yeah.
Big. What do we?
yeah, what do we have here? So that's another wooden epoxy. This one I call the blues lady because she's from New Orleans. If you look, you'll see some New Orleans elements in there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the blues lady.
Nice. Oh, in the backyard, huh?
This is a backyard. This is a
Love the
backyard.
center table.
Yeah.
So this is these are chairs that I actually created. So these chairs probably took me about a good 2 weeks because I was just doing it at night. And because so they're at a different location than our house, but because I was doing it and I knew I was going to take them to that location, these are heavy
They look
because
it,
again,
yeah.
Southern Pine,
Solid, of course.
and so you know,
Wow, thank you.
yeah. So I wanted to just put
Nice.
those together there. But that's what
Very
that
nice.
is.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. P. Thank you,
Yeah.
Damien. Gosh, look, we could just continue. We
Yeah.
just
This is
chilling,
fun.
man. This is
fun.
it is. It is.
Really
We
enjoy
really
you guys.
sincerely appreciate you.
Thank you for
taking the time
visiting
to-
and,
yes,
and letting
coming
us
out.
see beauty in so many different
So many different forms.
spaces. Yes, forms,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And thank you guys for having me.
Well,
Wow.
Speak
Queens up
Harmony.
there.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Speak Harmony family, it is time to go. We had a great time on our show, and we hope you
did.
did too. And we invite you to continue to comment and make suggestions. You know, come on and be a guest as well, right? And we want to thank you, Mr. Dwayne D68 Anderson.
Design.
All right, the designer.
out
Big
Impact
up,
Media,
Mr.
yes.
P and son Damien for producing this podcast. And so we want to say to you, Speak Harmony family, come check us out right here next Tuesday on YouTube and the other social media outlets too, 7 p. to 8 p.m. Until then, keep speaking harmony
Yes.
into your life.
Yes.
And
How do you speak harmony, by the way?
Kiss my wife.
Oh, Jenny, wow. I just wish you were
newlywed.
here because then, you know. I
that was
love
the
it.
makeup for all the other parts.
I think that should give me a couple of misdeeds at least,
Love it,
right?
love it.
Big
We'll
up, big
see
up.
you next week. Make sure you share, like, view, share again. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you for joining.
They talk about health, they talk about care, sharing tips, they got us without a care. Thank you for listening, you're the best. See you next week to keep the best. Together we learn, together we grow. There'll be lesson every hour, we know. See you next week with new stories to tell. More wisdom, more smiles,